Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Houston.
After 6 games in Cincinnati, the Astros finally host the Reds at Minute Maid Park. Time for some home cooking. Enuri Rodriguez makes the second start of his young career and is next on Fox Sports Houston.
Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros open a 6-game homestand. It's the first of 3 with the Cincinnati Reds. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. It's a warm day outside. The roof is closed. Astros coming home after a 2-4 road trip, and they have already played the Reds 6 times this year,
Yeah,
JD.
enough of the Reds, Brownie. Well, Enuri Rodriguez pitched against them last week in his first Major League start, and he dialed up a dandy. 5 innings of 1 hit. Probably should have been no-hit baseball. But these Red hitters are very, very good. Here's the group that's really done a lot of damage against the Astros this year. Renteria, 7 out of 13. Jay Bruce, 7 out of 17, including a walk-off in Cincinnati. Astros catch a break. Joey Votto not in the lineup tonight. He did something yesterday he hasn't done all year. That is failed to reach base. Brandon Phillips awfully tough as well.
Well, coming up from Minute Maid Park, the Reds were 6-3 in Houston last season. Joey Votto and company here. Votto not in the starting lineup, getting a rare rest. We'll see Game 1 in just a moment.
To you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by Southwest Airlines. New Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Well, inside Minute Maid Park, the roof is closed. Temperature in the 90s today, but it's very, very comfortable for action tonight in the first game of this three-game set. The Astros take on the Cincinnati Reds. The teams have yet to hit the field. The umpires are having their final conference at the mound, and the Astros are now going to take the field. And as they take the field, we're going to send it up to the booth for the guys who are going to describe all the action. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg Lucas. And the Astros come out on this field with a record of 7-9 at home. They've dropped 4 of their last 5. They're 13-21 this season. And they are 2-4 against Cincinnati. All 6 of those games were at Great American Ballpark. So by the end of this series, these two teams will have played each other 9 times. And the Astros will have played 37 games. The starting lineup for Dusty Baker is presented by Xfinity. Drew Stubbs leads off in center field. Edgar Renteria is the shortstop. Paul Yanis out with a sprained ankle right now. It's Jay Bruce of Beaumont in right field. Brandon Phillips at second base. Fred Lewis gets the start in left field. Ramon Hernandez plays first base tonight. Chris Valleca at third. Ryan Hannigan is the catcher for lefty Travis Wood.
Well, Nuri Rodriguez making his second major league start. Would love to duplicate what he did in his first major league start back in Cincinnati on Wednesday. It was 5 innings of one-hit shutout baseball for the big righty. Walked 1, punched out 3. The only hit he gave up was a fly ball to right field that was misplayed and turned into a triple. Very aggressive, attacking with the fastball early on. Was able to keep the ball down. And just good, solid, competitive start for Rodriguez. Help comes from Lee Bourne and Pence, Johnson, Barmas, Hall, and Wallace. And J.R. Tolles, who caught him in Cincinnati, back behind the dish this evening as well.
Astros just coming off that 2-4 road trip. Lost a tough one yesterday at Pittsburgh, 5-4, giving up 3 in the 8th inning. Now Nuri Rodriguez gets the baseball, and he's ready for his second major league start. Native Texan Drew Stubbs will be the first man he'll face tonight. Stubbs, 26 years old, from Texarkana, Texas. Went to high school in Atlanta, Texas. And then he became a Texas Longhorn and a first-round pick in 06, the 8th player drafted. 264, 6 homers, 18 runs batted in for Stubbs. And with 24 runs scored, he's in the top 6 in the National League.
Well, the Reds score a lot of runs. They led the league in runs scored last year. Got a lot of firepower in their order. They haven't been swinging the bats all that well recently, but they've managed to play winning baseball over the last few days. Just won a series in Chicago.
1-1. Dusty Baker's club game and a half behind front-running St. Louis. The Reds are 18-16 right now. This fly ball goes out to center field, and Michael Bourne settles in. That's out number 1 for Nuri Rodriguez.
Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup for Rodriguez. And as I mentioned in that game in Cincinnati, he was very aggressive with the fastball early on. You know, he was able to stay competitive despite the fact that he was working from behind quite a bit. He faced 17 batters through strike 1 to only 7 of the 17, but it didn't really hurt him.
Edgar Renteria fouls it back. There's strike 1 to the veteran shortstop at 3:08 with no homers, 8 runs batted in. And he's been getting a fair amount of playing time at short in recent days. With the injury to third baseman Scott Rowland, Paul Yanis has played some third base. And now Yanis out with a sprained ankle. Paul saying tonight before the game that he hopes to play in this series. There's a day game coming Wednesday after the night game tomorrow night. So the Rice University star is back and on the bench this time alongside another injured player. Rowland is out with a left shoulder problem.
Rowland, a big part of their success last year as the Reds won the National League Central, but he's been banged up for a while now. But on the pitching front, they're getting healthy. They got Johnny Cueto back, and he pitched very well yesterday.
Renteria swings over the top of that one. And that is out number 2. Good action on that pitch from Nuri. Let's take a look at it.
I think the slider, that's a pretty good tilt. Maybe a sinker.
Another native Texan, Jay Bruce of Beaumont, comes up. He's been batting 5th most of the year. hitting third tonight without Votto in the lineup. And there's strike one call. Brian Runge is calling the pitches tonight. Bruce with 7 homers leaves the club. He has 18 runs batted in and a .258 batting average. Votto's a big bat to miss in that lineup, but Votto has played every game until tonight.
And Votto falling off a little bit in recent days. Brandon Phillips has been struggling, so Jay Bruce has picked it up at the right time. From the Reds' point of view, he's probably their hottest hitter right now.
1-2 to Bruce. He turned 24 on the 4th day of the season this year. Has 5 homers in his last 12 games. And that is a very impressive first inning for Nuri Rodriguez. A fly ball and 2 strikeouts. Xfinity showing you Michael Bourne in center field. J.R. Tolles in the number 2 spot on the order doing the catching. Hunter Pence in right field. Carlos Lee in left. Phil Hall at second. Brett Wallace at first. Chris Johnson third base. Clint Farmer shortstop. Nuri Rodriguez pitcher.
Travis Wood won his first start of the year. He has not won since. He's 1-3 with a 6.21 ERA through 7 starts. He pitched well against the Astros last week, matching up with Nuri Rodriguez. Got a no decision, a game in which he allowed 2 runs in 6 innings.
This is Michael Bourne to lead it off for Houston. And this one goes in the air to right center field. Jay Bruce over. 1 pitch, 1 out for Wood. When Wood left that game, he trailed 2-0. But as JD mentioned, he got a no decision.
Well, let's look at the Reds defensively tonight. Fred Lewis gets a start in left field. Stubbs and Drew cover center and right. Valleca in there at third. Renteria at short. Brownie mentioned Giannis being nicked up. So it's a different look for the Reds tonight with Votto having the night off. Ramon Hernandez, the catcher, slides down to first base. Phillips is a Gold Glover out there at second. 5 consecutive day games the Reds have played prior to tonight.
325 for J.R. Tolles. That's tops among major league catchers in batting average. For those who have 30 at bats or more, there's strike 1 to J.R. in that number 2 spot in the order for the first time with 2 homers, 4 runs batted in. He had a double and a walk against Wood when they met in Cincinnati a few days ago.
That's Wood's best pitch right there. His changeup is a dandy. He throws a lot of fastballs. He tries to cut it in on the right-handed hitters, and that'll set up that changeup away.
Ground ball to third. Valleca. Out number 2. Wood is 0-1 against the Astros with an ERA of 4. For 3 career starts. He's from Little Rock, Arkansas. 2nd round pick in 05.
And it's been a weird year for him. It's been either really good or really bad for the most part in his starts. There's been very few middle ground. Given up 6 earned runs or more in 3 of his 7 starts. And The four have been pretty darn good.
Hunter Pence carries a 12-game hitting streak into this one tonight. He's driven in 10 runs during the 12-game streak.
And those good and bad starts have basically alternated. So he's due for a bad one. So,
okay,
put any stock in that.
To go with those numbers, Hunter has 10 doubles. His RBI figure is third in the National League. Bouncer on one hop goes foul for Valleca. It's 1-1. Our leaders of the game is brought to you by United, proud to fly the Houston Astros. Hunter tied for third in the majors with those 27 runs batted in, and he has done a fabulous job of hitting with men in scoring position. Has 41 hits. That's seventh in the National League. Hangs out a line drive, and the center fielder Stubbs can't stop it. It goes all the way to the wall. Pence will head for third base. Left fielder Lewis picks it up. Dave Clark coming up the line. Stop sign. And that's where he winds up with a two-out triple. Fans are thinking maybe inside the park.
Nothing gets the fans pumped up like a guy circling the bases. Bad play out there by Drew Stubbs in center field. 2 outs, nobody on. This is the time to play it conservatively. Just play it on a hop and give him a single. He leaves his feet and goes all the way to the wall, and he's lucky that Pence didn't circle the bases. You're looking at what Dave Clark was looking at, and he made the right call. It would have been easy pickings at home plate.
Long way for the left fielder to have to go. Now here's Carlos Lee taking strike one. 4-game hitting streak for Carlos, and he has had a .733 slugging percentage in the 4. 13-game hitting streak now for Hunter, third longest in the majors currently. Jamie fights it off.
He's been hitting a lot of balls hard. Hunter has to center and to right center. One of the things you see from Hunter when he's struggling is he pulls off a lot of balls, and you see those little slow rollers to the left side. I haven't seen many of those lately.
No.
They're doing a nice job staying through the ball.
20 runs batted in for El Caballo, and he's down 0-2 here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He had a chat with Greg Lucas on Astros Live about driving in runs. Now we'll see if he can do it. His 61 career runs batted in against Cincinnati pitching.
Pitching 1-on-1 there. Down and away, up and in.
7 for 22 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position for Carlos. It's 2-2. Right-handed hitters have a .317 average against Wood. Lefties .300. Bill Hall's on deck. Wood strikes him out looking. Carlos Lee throws his head back on the call from Brian Runge, and it's no runs, 1 hit, a runner stranded at third, 0-0 after 1.
presented by HEB this Saturday. Now, this special offer is unique. It includes a game ticket and admission to the 1 p.m. wine and cheese event, including wine tasting and more. Visit Astros.com/wine for tickets.
It's coming right up May 14th. Week-long homestand here. The Mets are in over the weekend. Brandon Phillips leads it off here in the second inning. Phillips, a .305 hitter with 4 homers, has driven in 17 this year. He takes it, and it's ball 1. Close call to end the inning on Carlos Lee. The Astros stranded Pence at third base. The Reds, meanwhile, went out 1-2-3 with a couple of punch-outs by Anuri Rodriguez.
Fox Tracks brought to you by Steel. Couple good heaters there by Rodriguez. Could be 0-2, but he's 1-1. Working Phillips away. Good low fastball hitter is Brandon Phillips, and as I mentioned earlier, he's in a bit of a funk. These Reds over the last week collectively hitting just .236.
Yeah, they can put some crooked numbers on the board. They're averaging 5 runs per game. Ripped on a line off the glove of Johnson. It trickles up the left field line. Chased down by Barmas. Here's Phillips going to second. Barmas with a 1-hop throw to Hall. He's out. Good hustle by Clint Barmas.
Just a good heads-up ball player. And a great job reacting after that ball went off the glove of Johnson to hustle out there and be in position to make a play on Brandon Phillips, who really runs quite well. Ball had a lot of steam on it. And just turns and throws a strike to second base. Phillips trying to take a little evasive action, but not this time.
Avoid that Bill Hall tag. And now it's Fred Lewis. Just came back from an injury, looking at ball 1. It's a single for Phillips. And then the play went 6-4 as he tried to stretch it to a double. Well, Lewis hit that home run in Cincinnati against the Astros as he came back.
She gives him the hand, then takes it away and tries to sneak in with that foot, but Bahal does a nice job staying on the play with the tag.
Lewis takes that one, and it's 3-0 for Fred. He was drafted by the Giants, then he became a Toronto Blue Jay last year. Signed as a free agent in January with the Reds.
Probably swinging here if he likes it.
Good spot to hit. And Nuri comes inside pretty often. 3 balls and a strike. Lewis gives the Reds increased depth. They've been battling through several injuries this season. Barmas to his left. Takes care of the second out. Barmas has played errorless baseball and really has been the glue to this infield since he came back from his injury. Now former catcher tonight, the first baseman Ramon Hernandez. He's played there before. 5-game hitting streak for Hernandez. He's gone 7 for 21. His average is .303. He has 2 homers. He's driven in 10. Very good clutch hitter. Late in the game, he's one guy the Reds like to see at the plate.
Talking about Phillips being a good low ball hitter. Hernandez good with that fastball up, out away from him and up in the strike zone. Good opposite field power.
Bounce to shortstop. Barmas has that easy 2-hopper. Turns it into out number 3. No runs a hit, nobody left. It's 0-0. against lefty Travis Wood. Roll out a 2-out triple to Hunter Pence in the first inning. There's the big new board called El Grande here in high definition. Fans looking around and watching the lefty Wood go to work on Bill Hall. A very warm day outside, so we have air conditioning going here. Hall takes, and it is strike one for Travis Wood to a 221 hitter with 1 homer, 10 runs batted in. The Astros are 6th in runs scored in the National League. No balls, 2 strikes. Reds pitching is getting better. Has not been much to brag about with a 4.35 ERA, but lately, the last turn through the rotation, the starters have had a 2.07 earned run average.
And the Astros haven't done much against starting pitching for the last week or so. Back to that Cincinnati series. Aside from the game with Leak, that's it.
Stubbs back into left center field. Bill Hall cranks one high off the wall. It kicks back towards center, and he's in with a double. He unloaded on that 0-2 pitch. 4th double of the year for Hall. Gave it a ride. Looked like he made a strong bid for a homer.
He'll have to settle for a leadoff double, but nothing wrong with that. Boy, and he really worked hard to get on top of that ball. When you make that pitch, you don't anticipate it being hit that hard. You think swing and a miss, or guy's going to pop it up. Hall got those hands up and got through it.
Fred Lewis came over to back up, and Hall banged one off that Papa John's ad out there. He flattened it. Red Wallace, 339, 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. Goes lefty on lefty here.
Yeah, against Wood last time, they scored 2 runs in 6 innings, and 1 run in 6 off Homer Bailey, 1 run in 7 innings off Paul Mulholland, 1 off Morton in 7 2/3, and shut out for 6 innings yesterday by James McDonald. So Astros have not been scoring early at all in these recent games.
No balls, 2 strikes on Wallace, who leads the league in batting average at home, 447. When he's behind in the count, he has the 3rd highest average in the majors, 351. .269 against lefties. He hangs in well, but now battling at 0-2. Wood throws one wide. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Wallace, even though he has the 5th best batting average in the league at 339, saw that come down a little bit on the road trip. He went 3 for 20. He was so hot it was inevitable. It would be tough to stay in that neighborhood where he was. Bouncer Wood. We've got a rundown going on Hall. Runs right at him, throws, and now Renteria throwing, and now another throw.
He might have been in there.
He might have, but Phillips is credited with the out.
No way Wallace could get over to second base. Ideally, you'd like for that out, if you're the Astros, for that play to be made at third base, and Wallace could sneak over to third. And even though it wasn't the most perfectly executed run down by the Reds, they did the right thing in getting the out at second base. No chance for Wallace to advance. Wood probably should have held it just a touch longer. And that was probably one too many throws there from Valaika. He should have just gone ahead and found that extra burst of speed and applied the tag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, the tag was a little high. Umpire was screened by it.
Marvin Hudson with the out call. 1-6-5-4 on that play now. Chris Johnson.
Yeah, they got him.
Yeah, he did. Ball 1 to Johnson. Chris hit his 4th home run, and it was a bolt yesterday to left field in Pittsburgh. He's driven in 13. Big ballpark.
The second time the Astros have lost a base run on that comebacker to the mound. In the last couple of days. I got Michael yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. It was the day before yesterday. 194 for CJ. Clint Barmas on deck.
Controlled aggression is what you're looking for on the base paths, but that's a tough one because you see it coming up the middle and you think, well, I'm going to be able to at least get to third and maybe score, and then the pitcher snags it and you're hung up.
Barmas watching as Johnson will look over this 2-0 pitch from Travis Wood. First volley goes over. Apparently Dusty Baker thinks Astros might have something working here on a 2-0 count for Brad Mills' club.
CJ hit a home run yesterday in Pittsburgh. Looking for something to juice here on 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, Wood was wise to it and came with a nice changeup. That's his go-to pitch. Cannot count on a fastball in any count.
Hannigan, a good catcher, calling the game tonight. It's 2 balls and a strike now for Wood. Shot foul.
Out, fire in the hole.
Got there in a hurry. 2-2 for CJ.
That's fairly typical for a hitter to be light on the fastball after that good changeup. But just, I mean, that's the adjustment you make as a hitter. You get fooled by the soft stuff. You got to stay back a little longer, and you're not going to be as quick on the heater.
Wood pitched twice in this ballpark last year. He was 0-1 in those 2. Foul back. Went 6 innings both times. He gave up 4 runs against Bud Norris here in July. Left with the game tied, and then he gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings in September against Brett Myers, and he lost that one 4-3. The Reds know healthy again now, as you mentioned, with Cueto coming back, and Homer Bailey made his return very successfully against the Astros, so they have their rotation intact now. Foul back. Still 2-2. And they have a big weekend meeting coming up with first place St. Louis. That'll be in Cincinnati. Bronson Arroyo and Kyle Loesch Friday night. Johnny Cueto, Kyle McClellan Saturday. Travis Wood, Chris Carpenter Sunday. 5 all left. Lewis backing. And he has room to take care of out number 2.
It's an inning of almost.
Yeah. We'll go to a sure thing. Bart Ennis.
Thank you, Bill. Want to remind Astros fans that Chevy is proud to support youth baseball leagues in your local community. And if you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, you need to go to youthsportswire.com. Back to you guys.
I love those Utes.
The youngsters are hydrating tonight, and hoping Clint Barmas can come through with a runner at first and 2 outs in the inning. That's strike 1. Clint at 207 has driven in a couple. Batting in the 8th spot tonight with Nuri Rodriguez due up next. Clint had a pretty good road trip, going 6 for 22, driving in a couple for a 273 average. And this one, that's for left, but Lewis is over there underneath as he runs over for the 3rd out. No runs a hit, a runner stranded. The Astros have a couple of extra base hits, but it's 0-0.
on this date that umpire Dave Malone eject the entire Cardinal bench after they threw helmets and bats on the field. They were upset with something. Astros end up defeating St. Louis 5-4 in 16 innings. Those are the kind of facts you get on these telecasts. Hi, everyone. Greg Lucas down on the field. We're just about set to get the next inning started. And, guys, I want to ask you a question. Oh, before I do that, don't forget emailing. FoxSportsHouston@yahoo.com. We got a few that we've answered today, and tomorrow will be the big day when JD and Brownie answer a few on the air. So always keep us loaded with possibilities. Now, I was going to ask you about the work of Mr. Rodriguez, but his work is pretty much self-evident. He's been very good.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, he's picked right up where he left off last time out. Just really coming after these Reds hitters with that fastball. I like his pace. I like the fact that he's very workmanlike out there. Gets it and goes. Not a whole lot of dawdling, kind of setting the tone. He's on the attack.
Valleca, 182, filling into third base tonight, leading it off. That one's a little jam shot out to left field, but Carlos Lee watches it come off the wall, and Valleca is in with a pop fly double.
Yeah, and that ball hit low enough on the wall, and I think there's a chance Carlos could have made a play on it if he had continued to go back there. He's gotten so adept at handling that carom off the wall. I'm not so sure that he couldn't have gone all the way back and made a play on that one. See, this is the one thing I noticed. As good as Rodriguez was last time, and even tonight, his fastball command has not been particularly sharp. Now, that ball is pretty low off the wall. You know, he's very aggressive, and he throws hard, and he's getting swings and misses at his fastballs, but he has left some over the fat part of the plate.
Hannigan's the batter, the number 8 hitter. Has been doing well for the Reds this season. This one goes out to left center. Wide open spaces there. Long run for Michael Bourne. It loops in for a hit. Valleca gets a stop sign at third base. Wow. And it's first and third. Can't believe he didn't score on that. But it's first and third, nobody out.
That's because Michael Bourne's out there, and he's like, maybe he's going to catch that ball. And he probably, I mean, you'll see what he does here. You see where the ball's going. If he had known where Michael was set up before the pitch, he might have been a little bit more aggressive with his jump. He really wasn't that close to it, but probably should have been. It's okay to hesitate on that play for Valleca, but he should have been a little further off the second base where he would have been in position to score. I mean, that can be a tough read on a ball out there in left center because you don't want to get so far off that you risk being doubled off if it's caught.
Now it's Wood. He is 0 for 11 with a couple of sacrifice bunts.
Looks like he's a little wore out, Valleca, from running out that double, too. Might not have been ready to go.
You know, that ball went up in the air off Hannigan's bat. Michael had no chance whatsoever to catch that thing. But the Astros would love it if they could put up a 0 here in this inning with first and third, nobody out.
We're not showing bunt initially, but this is typically a sacrifice situation.
Yeah.
And nobody out, first and third, bunt that man on first into scoring position.
You know, Wood does not have a hit this year. He hit a home run last season, drove in 3. Stubbs is a good RBI man. The leadoff guy's on deck now. That's driven to left field. Travis Wood has hit a no-doubter. 3-run homer, and the Reds lead 3-0 as their pitcher circles the bases with his first hit of the season.
How about that Dusty Baker not putting the sacrifice on and having his pitcher go yard? Feeling like a genius down there in that Reds dugout right now.
You know that. Second major league homer. Here's the swing.
Yeah, good looking swing. That's legit there. That's a legit swing. That's not a pitcher just running into one and getting lucky. That's a guy that can handle the bat.
And it thundered over that wall. 3-0 with that swing of the bat. And now it's Stubbs batting. Inside to him for ball 1. He opened the game with a fly ball to center.
Murray really wasn't pressed in that last start, so now he's going to have to to bounce back a little bit and settle in and pitch. And again, you see him missing the spot, trying to go down and away and leaving it up and in.
Nuri from the Dominican Republic. His mother watched the ball game from Cincinnati on her computer. And it's 2 balls and a strike. That's the 3rd home run by a pitcher against the Astros. Giovanni Gallardo and Carlos Zambrano went deep. Two and two now to Stubbs. Nuri was signed by the Rockies in 05 as a free agent. Then he moved along to Tampa Bay. And the Astros picked him up in the Rule 5 draft last winter. Off the end of the bat, that's a looping hit to right field. Stubbs aboard with the 4th consecutive Reds hit. Stubbs has 11 steals in 12 tries. Former Astro Billy Hatcher is the first base coach.
This much better pitch, a fastball off the plate away, and Stubbs does about the only thing he could do with it and have any success at all, and just punch it the other way.
Edgar Renteria, 2-time World Series star, is the batter. He struck out in the 1st inning. Runner going. Tap to the left side. Johnson takes care of Renteria. Stubbs to second, 1 out. The Reds are 2nd in the league in total bases and in on base average. They can keep the pressure on a pitcher.
Second to the Cardinals in runs scored.
Jay Bruce, another one of their big weapons, hit 25 bombs last year. Struck out in the 1st inning. Travis Wood hit his first major league homer last September 4th at St. Louis off Adam Wainwright.
Well, at least Nuri's in select company.
Yeah.
Pretty good pitcher there.
Absolutely. That's ball 1 to Bruce. Dodgers and Pirates are tied 1-1. They've played 5 at PNC Park with Jeff Karstens on the mound for Pittsburgh. Pirates climbed back to 500 by beating the Astros yesterday. They're 17-17. That's in the air, and Michael Bourne moves over to his right. Bourne takes care of that one. 2 outs. Throw goes into 3rd.
This would be a good time to straighten up a hitter. Throw a good fastball up and in and push a hitter off the plate. And the only reason I say that is 4 consecutive hits, including a home run by the pitcher. Then after the Stubbs base hit, they put a hit and run. They're starting runners, so they're kind of taking it to you, and they're go, go, go. And so now would be a good time to, you got a base open, you got 2 outs. So if it were to get away from you a little bit and you end up hitting the guy, not such a big deal. And I'm not advocating, drilling Phillips here, but I think this would be a good time, especially for a young pitcher. And the other clubs, kind of like the sharks circling in the water, smelling blood. This would be a good time to straighten somebody up and let them know you're out there to compete.
Phillips got that single and then tried to stretch it with a line drive off Johnson's glove. That's ball 1. Now sometimes Nuri misses inside on a right-handed batter, as you pointed out. It's not always where the target was, but he kind of has that natural release point sometimes. It takes it up and in on a right-handed batter, whether he's attempting to throw it there or not.
Yeah, and I think his success in his last start was tied mostly to the fact that his stuff was good. His command was not particularly sharp in that game, but he got away with it.
It's 2-0.
And that's to be expected. You're out there for your first couple of major league starts. You're 23 years old. There's a lot of adrenaline pumping. Sometimes it's tough to command your pitches. Tendency to want to overthrow.
That's a strike call to make it 2-1.
Be an equalizer there if you could start throwing that breaking ball and fastball counts and do it successfully.
All 3 Astros starting pitchers in the series in Pittsburgh had quality starts. One Rodriguez, 7 innings, 2 runs. Bud North, 7 innings, 3 runs. Jay Happ, 6 innings, 2 runs over the weekend. That one gets away from him. It's 3 balls and a strike.
It was not an intentional push him back, but it'll get his attention. He's trying to go down and away with that one.
Yeah. Lewis is on deck. Reds banged out 4 consecutive hits to start the inning. Travis Wood belting a 3-run homer. And that's a foul ball.
A little change up there.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Red Myers goes against Homer Bailey tomorrow night. Here on FS Houston, that's a 7:05 start. Airtime 6:30 for Astros Live. That's a rematch of the Thursday game, which Cincinnati won 10-4. And Bailey pitched so well, giving up 1 run in 6 innings. Fouled away, still 3-2. So these two teams have a heavy dose of games against each other here, front-loaded in the first quarter of the season. But after this series, they will not see a whole lot of each other for a while. August 1st will be their next meeting in Houston, and the Astros have one more trip to Cincinnati just after the midpoint of September. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. That's number 3 for Enuri Rodriguez, but the Reds teeing him up for 3 runs on 4 hits. They leave a man. It's 3-0 Cincinnati.
Dodgers in 1980 to clinch the National League West.
We're going to hold off on that.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's not in the building tonight that we know of. He might have been, but he's not.
But one of his teammates is and has been spotted in the Reds general manager's booth.
Oh, that's true.
Enuri Rodriguez.
What was that question again? I missed that. Let's change the channels up there.
Well, who hit the 3-run homer and drove in 4 runs when the Astros beat the Dodgers in 1980 to clinch the National League West? Joe Niekro was the winning pitcher, and they won 7-1. Remember, after losing those 3 in a row to need the game. But who hit the big hit? Who had the big hit?
Somebody who often appears on the Astros live shows.
A lot in common with J.D. Consorielli.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Joe Morgan is here tonight. He is working for the Cincinnati Reds. There he is in the visiting general manager's booth. And he was on that club in his second stint with the Houston club in his career. Strike 3 call, Enuri Rodriguez. Strikeout victim number 2.
Well, we've wasted enough time, because many of you know, and Brownie knows, who hit the 3-run homer. And there it is. And we've said he's here a lot. He's not working tonight. Allison Footer is working out with Kevin, but he's probably watching.
Let's hope so. Michael Bourne hit a fly ball to right. Now Allison Footer probably hit a 3-run homer at some point as well. There's strike one to Bourne. Right now, though, she has more weighty things on her mind.
She is more tonsorally endowed, too.
Tonsorally?
Wow.
Well, I don't know.
Follically?
She's really
Follically, too.
really concentrating next to Brian McTaggart as they both work on their articles for the Astros.com website. Oh, a shot through the middle. Michael Bourne whacked that 0-2 pitch right by Travis Wood. The Astros get their third hit.
That ball was well struck. Well, Pence's triple was Hall's double. We'll get some good swings at Travis Wood here. And he's elevated the ball. They've been able to take advantage of it, put a good swing on it. That one was up by design. Hannigan wanted it out a little bit further. Michael's batting average has been coming down here the last 10 days or so, but he's still swinging it pretty well. He's hit into some tough luck.
He's 13 for 13. Hannigan has thrown out 1 of 16. J.R. Tolles with a 2-hopper to third. Valleca throwing to second. Phillips to first. No double play. And Hunter Pence will have an at-bat with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's a scenario Brad Mills was hoping for, with Tolles in the 2-hole tonight in the lineup, thinking that if Michael Bourne got on base, J.R. would see some fastballs to hit. And J.R. is a good fastball hitter, but Wood came with the first pitch change up there. Caught J.R. out in front. Rolled over on a little bit. Nice play by Valleca.
Hannigan out for a word with Wood. Tolles, the base runner, and he says his ankle has gotten a lot better. And he probably is in for a little more playing time because the Astros have allowed him to have a little extra time to nurse that ankle. And Humberto Quintero's been catching quite often. Hunter Pence hit that triple to left center field his first time up. The Astros have 9 triples. They lead the league. And there's ball 1.
Well, he might as well hit for the cycle. He's got the hardest one out of the way.
Yeah.
Got the triple.
Well, Hunter's longest career hitting streak is 16 games. He's at 13 right now. It's 2-0. You're talking about streaks, too. We mentioned earlier Joey Votto had been on base every game for the first 33 for the Reds, so he did not get days off. And finally tonight he gets one because the manager doesn't want to interrupt a streak like that. He was close to a club record to open the season.
Had to play his way out of the lineup. He had to take an offer.
He went 0 for 4 yesterday with 2 strikeouts. Dave Collins set the club record to open the season, 1981, 34 games. Pete Rose, of course, had that 44-game hitting streak. Fly ball out toward left center field. Stubbs moving to his right. And in the 3rd inning, no runs a hit. A man left for the Astros. The Reds lead it 3-0. 3-0 ball game. Cincinnati leads. We go to the top of the fourth inning and we show you how the Reds got that 3-0 lead in the third with Enuri Rodriguez making his second major league start. And he was clipping along there. Struck out Renteria and Bruce in the first inning. Then there's a triple by Hunter Pence. And a 3-run homer there from Wood. Second major league home run following a double from Valleca and a single from Hannigan. Cincinnati and Houston, it's game one of this 6-game homestand for the Astros. And they're trailing with Enuri Rodriguez out to face Lewis, Hernandez, and Valleca in the Reds' fourth. Bill Brown, Jim DeShays, Greg Lucas. Bart Ennis is here as well, watching the opener of this homestand. Lewis hit a ground ball to shortstop. Always great to be back after a road trip. And that's in tight for ball one, especially one with some rain and a lot of clouds. Johnny Gomes has been playing a lot of left field. He's a right-handed batter.
Finally be able to put my ski cap up for the rest of the season.
That's right.
Looking that baby out.
Well, it would look pretty stylish in July, don't you think?
Some do.
You could be the only guy.
Some slaves to fashion do. Look out.
Broken bad liner to right field. The barrel winds up between first and second, and Lewis used it well on a leadoff single. He's aboard for Ramon Hernandez. That's hit number 6 for the Reds.
Again, not hitting his spot. JR set up down and away. It's down but in. Not a horrible pitch, but just gives you an idea that he's missing his spots. Lewis can run a little bit.
Yeah.
Still 21 bases in 08 for the Giants. 17 bags last year for the Jays.
And Hernandez is a double play candidate, so he might be running. Hernandez grounded out to short in the second inning. Strike one for Enuri Rodriguez. Detroit leads 6-2 at Toronto after a 6-run fourth. Max Scherzer on the mound. Yunel Escobar hit his third home run for the Jays.
So I wonder who will flirt with a no-hitter tonight.
That's been a nightly occurrence, hasn't it? Some exciting times for pitchers. Early going. Now Tolles goes out to the mound. Phillies lead at Florida 6-3. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning with Vance Worley going for the Phils. Jimmy Rollins hit his second homer. Tomorrow night is that much awaited pitching matchup. Halladay and Josh Johnson.
Oh, man.
45 pitches for Enuri Rodriguez. Jason Michaels started in left field this afternoon for Oklahoma City. And he was 2 for 5 in the Red Hawks 8-5 win at Omaha. He's had 3 games on his rehab assignment. He might be back very soon to the Astros. Runner going. There's a line drive. Hit for the seats in left field. That is a 2-run shot, and the Reds have a couple of long balls already tonight. Hernandez rips number 3 of the season, giving him 12 runs batted in to make it 5-0.
Baseball is a game of percentages in so many ways, and certainly the percentages when you misfire as much as Enuri has tonight, they're going to catch up to you. As I mentioned, I felt like he got away with it in his last start. I didn't think his command was particularly good, but he was able to get some swings and misses. Tonight they're just catching up to him. Again, watch the location, watch the intention where they wanted to go and where it ends up, and it just becomes a percentage play with big league hitters. If you continue to miss, sooner or later they're going to catch up to you.
And the Reds are the league leading team in long balls. That's their 41st. This is their 35th game. Now a breaking pitch to start, and Valleca takes it, strike one. He doubled to left in the third.
In many ways, hitters are the best pitching coaches because you get pretty good feedback when you're missing. The coach might say, man, you got away with that when you need to get it down. But when the hitters teach you, it's like it sinks in a little bit more.
It's 1-1. Valleca, one of 7 Reds players to have a hit, and they have totaled 7 hits in the game. In the air, and the right fielder Hunter Pence moves in a little bit. That's one down. Ryan Hannigan follows. Reds are well equipped to defend their Central Division title after winning 91 and losing 71 last year. They finished 5 games in front in the NL Central. They led the league in runs and in total bases and in homers, and they're showing those same tendencies again. But they had 2 members of their starting rotation out for the month of April with injuries, Bailey and Cueto. Hannigan singled to left center in the third. It's a very good job of hanging in with those injuries.
And their nominal ace, Edison Volquez, has not pitched particularly well. So, given all that to be where they are, Dusty Baker has to feel pretty good about things.
Volquez. Fastball is up, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Now, Volquez has had some first inning problems this year. He's 3-1 though with a high ERA. And Cueto, as JD mentioned, very impressive yesterday. 6 shutout innings in the win over the Cubs. That's in for a strike, and it's 2-1 with Wood on deck. Of course, the Cardinals also have dealt with their share of injuries. Adam Wainwright is out for the season. They've had some other guys banged up along the way. That'll be a highly watched series this weekend with Cincinnati and St. Louis. 3 balls and strike. Kind of an early season feel for who's in charge of the NL Central.
Have they not played yet?
I'm going to have to check on that. Seems like they have played one series.
I'm still not convinced that the Milwaukee Brewers aren't the best team in the division.
Well, they could be.
They're scuffling right now.
Yeah, they have played one series.
Milwaukee's won just 2 of their last 10 ball games. But, Zach Greinke's pitching tonight in Milwaukee, making his home debut. And he's pitched 3 scoreless so far with 5 strikeouts. Against the Padres. Have to qualify it.
A little jam shot, a broken bat, looping single. And Hannigan is 2 for 2. Let's go to Bart Ennis now.
Yeah, Bill, Astros fans can catch the 9-inning lunch break for every weekday afternoon game this season, with the first date coming up Wednesday when the Astros and Reds play at 105. You get a field box ticket and $20 in food and beverage credit for just $45. Go to astros.com/value to get your tickets and bring somebody to lunch at the ballpark.
Thanks, Bart. These 2 teams that we talked about, Cincinnati and St. Louis, have played 1 series against each other. And the Cardinals won 2 of 3 at home. Nelson Figueroa is warming up for Houston as Travis Wood bats for the 2nd time. He hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd. Chris Johnson moving in tight. Wood around to bunt this time, and he takes strike 1.
Can't ask this guy to bunt. That's a guy who wants to swing. When he's up there to sacrifice and he takes a strike. So come on, just take it off. Let me swing.
Reds averaged 5.1 runs per game in this ballpark last year when they went 6-3 here. Johnson moving in, pitch is high. It's 1-1. Boston leads Minnesota 1-0. Bottom of the 6th inning at Fenway.
What you might be inclined to do here if you're Dusty Baker, you've got this 5-run lead, so you can play a little loose if you want. You could play a little hit and run, start the runner, and show bunt, and then pull that bat back and try to slap it through the hole.
Well, he did it.
He pulled it back. Hannigan wasn't going anywhere.
1-2. The Reds have won 11 and lost 5 since 2009 at Houston. And that's the 4th best road winning percentage against one club currently in the majors over that period of time. Again swinging after showing, but he fouls it. Still a ball, 2 strikes. Well, that struggling Minnesota team is 12-20.
Yeah, and because they play in the same division as the mighty Tribe of Cleveland, they find themselves, what, 9.5 back, and the White Sox are 10 behind.
Big margin to make up, even though it is really early.
9.5 games back, and the snow hasn't even melted in Minnesota yet.
You're not exaggerating much with that statement. Now another swing and a pop-up. This one could be in play for Brad Wallace and J.R. Tolles. Wallace, 2 outs. And it'll be Stubbs batting next. Stubbs single to right field in the third. He's 1 for 2.
Good job there by Brett Wallace, coming in hard and chasing JR off. It's a tougher play for the catcher and the catcher's mitt to handle these pop-ups. So if anybody else is in position, you prefer for them to come in and make the play.
Brad Arnsberg comes out. Josh Beckett's pitching tonight for Boston against Nick Blackburn with that 1-0 Boston score. Bottom of the 6th inning. The Red Sox really had their problems earlier this year in the rotation, but some of those have been straightened out. 60 pitches in, and Nuri Rodriguez has thrown 38 strikes.
Well, the Red Sox come to town this year. We schedule makers didn't do the Astros any favors with this interleague play thing.
No.
Go to Toronto, they're pretty good. But home and home with Texas. Red Sox come to town. Rays come to town.
Tough competition.
Yeah.
Stubbs on the breaking pitch moves the bat, but he did check his swing. On appeal to the crew chief, Tim McClellan. 1-0 with Nelson Figueroa warming for the Astros. Sharp breaker makes it a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Mets in Colorado have played 1 in Colorado with no score. Mets will be here over the weekend. That series opens Friday night. Thursday's an off day this week for the Astros. That's there for a strike, and it's 1-2 Stubbs. White Sox are in Los Angeles to play the Angels tonight. Figueroa quite capable of coming in and pitching several innings in relief. In the dirt, and it's 2-2. Oakland got 3 at Texas in the 3rd inning and leads the Rangers 3-0 now. Bottom of the 4th with Trevor Cahill on the mound. Josh Willingham hit his 6th home run. It's a good battle of teams with identical records right now, 18 and 17. 2 games behind the Angels. That went up and in, and Stubbs fouled it back, and the Angels with Mike Scioscia getting that milestone 1,000th win.
Yeah, where they going? Some kind of Brandon Phillips t-shirt caught the ball.
Oh, okay.
They're booing him. He's down there gloating.
And now this fly ball goes to Michael Bourne's left. Lunging on the breaking pitch, Stubbs is retired. The Reds get a 2-run shot from Hernandez. They get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave a man. It's 5-0 Cincinnati. back inside Minute Maid Park. It's 5-0. The Reds have opened up some working room for lefty Travis Wood. And the Astros will bat here against Wood in the home fourth inning with Lee, Hall, and Wallace due up. So Wood with win number 2 of the season in his sights warms up, and Lee struck out looking at a big curveball in the first inning to strand a runner at third. Wood has faced those 3 hits: a triple by Pence, a double by Hall, and a single by Bourne, one in each of the first 3 innings.
All right, a homer for the team cycle.
Yeah. Carlos Lee getting close to that milestone, 2,000 career hits. He gets another big looper, and it's strike 1 call. And now a line shot goes foul from Carlos. Carlos had a couple of knocks yesterday. Single and a double. 0-2. So he needs 5 more to reach 2,000. Big milestone for any major leaguer. Chops that one foul to stay alive with no balls, 2 strikes.
Well, single and double yesterday, and a little good fortune. A ground ball back to the mound. And his double was actually caught by Andrew McCutcheon out in center field, but the umpire blew a call. Maybe his karma is pointed in the right direction.
Inside, it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Jordan Lyles pitched for Oklahoma City today and gave up 6 hits and 5 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings, walking 6, fanning 3. In the dirt, and it's 2-2. Sergio Escalona, a lefty, got his 3rd save of the year. I mentioned Jason Michaels' numbers in that 8-5 win for Oklahoma City at Omaha. Bill Hall on deck. And there's a strikeout for Wood. That's number 3. He set it up well.
I mentioned earlier that he'd been getting hurt when he elevated. This time he was able to get away with it. And probably because of the good changeup. He started a little bit late. He comes with that heater. That's the one thing that I'm sure Mike Barnett's talking about in the Astros dugout right now. You know, don't try to do too much here. Just have good at bats. You're down 5, and sometimes a sense of urgency will take over a club. They're having a hard time scoring runs, and guys will get a little overly aggressive. And I'm sure Barney's down there. Hey, just get a good pitch. Don't try to do too much. Just try to put some good at bats together and see if we can scratch out some runs and get back in the ball game.
Well, Hall hit the 0-2 pitch for his double to left center, almost hit it out. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bill. Two and 1. You mentioned Milwaukee struggling. The Brewers with Greinke on the mound tonight are 14-20. They're 1 game ahead of the Astros. And this is his debut at home. He's given up 3 hits and 1 run in 3 2/3. Matt Latos is winless for San Diego. And it's 2-1 Milwaukee. Home 4th inning now. How things have turned for him in 1 year. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That breaking ball in a little bit more here as he works through the order a second time.
He gets a strikeout. That's number 4.
Reminds me a little bit of my old buddy Tom Browning.
Okay.
Good athletic lefty out there. And Browning had the screwball, and Woods isn't a screwball, but it's, same idea. Turns over that changeup, floats it down and away.
You see how far out in front Bill Hall is. Very good look at it on Fox Mo. Brett Wallace reached as he bounced into that rundown play on Hall. He gets the big hook, and it's strike one. Chris Johnson's on deck. 8 hits for the Reds, 3 for the Astros. No errors tonight. The fastball makes it 0-2. 88 miles per hour. Not a blazer, but he's mixing things effectively so far.
Yeah, some at least once at 92, but for the most part it's 88 to 90 miles an hour. But just contrast the command that he has exhibited tonight versus Anuri. Anuri's fastball all over the place. Wood's been very precise for the most part with his fastball, and he's got that good changeup too. And I don't think Anuri ever really established a secondary pitch to get the hitters off of the fastball.
Slow grounder, Renteria. 1, 2, 3, 4th for Wood. 5-0 Reds.
Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by AT&T and by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Back we go upstairs now to Bill Brown and Jim DeShays.
Thank you, Greg. It is 5-0. The Reds got a 3-run bomb from their pitcher, Travis Wood, in the 3rd inning. A 2-run homer from Ramon Hernandez, the first baseman, in the 4th. And now they come up leading 5-0 with Edgar Renteria leading off the 5th. He is struck out and grounded out. And there's a secondary pitch idea there from Anuri Rodriguez. You had talked about that last inning, JD, but he bounced it for ball 1.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, you're down 5-0, and pitch count is starting to mount a little bit. Not sure how long he'll be able to stay in this game, but you can still work on it, still try to figure some things out as you go along.
And that's a good point compared to working 1 inning in relief. He does have more leeway to do that as a starter. It's 2 balls and a strike.
I'm sure Brad Arnsberg's been in his ear between each inning, kind of trying to guide him along. Here's what you need to do.
Away, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. It was great in that first major league start to work the 5 innings of 1-hit shutout ball. Tonight has been a different type situation, maybe a real learning situation for him once he sits down and analyzes. Now 3-2. Reds are getting good mileage out of Renteria, even though Giannis is the starter at shortstop. Renteria can certainly step in, although he has had some difficulties in the field in the early going this season. Fouls it back. Career .287 hitter. Last year he played about half the time with the Giants, 243 at bats, but when postseason play came around, well, he was the World Series MVP, hitting .412 with 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. And he takes a walk.
One of those guys that just year in and year out continues to contribute, you know, not the player he once was, but still a good solid veteran presence on a ball club.
He's been through the wars.
His brother played in the Astros minor league system a long time ago. He grew up with a family of like 14 kids in Columbia.
He's aboard for Jay Bruce, who has struck out and hit a fly ball to center. Fastball ties him up, and he shoots it behind second base. Clint Barmas is out. Takes care of out number 1. Now it's Brandon Phillips coming up. Phillips hit 18 homers last year for the Reds, stole 16 bases. Had some good games against the Astros here in the early going. He had 2 hits, 1, 3, and then 2 more in a series. So 7 hits in those 3 games, that first series in Cincinnati. 1 for 2 tonight. Dodgers and Pirates go to the top of the 8th, tied 1-1. Chad Billingsley on the hill for Los Angeles. Dodgers 3 games under 500 now. They'll be coming in on the next Astros homestand. That's ball 1. Astros make 2 trips to Los Angeles this year. 75 pitches for Anuri Rodriguez.
The Pirates getting another very good start.
They sure are. Now they have to be thinking that
Correa tonight?
Yes. No, it's Karstens.
Karstens. Yeah.
Runner going, swing and a miss. The throw is high, stolen base. Renteria, number 1. Reds have 7 steals and 9 tries against the Astros.
Edgar's running. Come on, hit the ball, hit the ball. Don't make me try to steal this base.
Now it's a ball and a strike for Phillips. Now Karstens went 5 2/3, allowed 1 run for Pittsburgh. Been a few years since the Pirates were at 500 this late in the season.
2005.
Fly ball. Hunter Pence moving in right. Calls off Bill Hall. 2 outs. And Fred Lewis, who singled to right on a broken bat and then rode home on the 2-run homer by Hernandez, will follow. He's 1 for 2.
Anuri Rodriguez due up 3rd in the bottom half of the 5th, so I'm sure the thinking the Astros dugout is, hey, get through this inning, have a clean inning. At least you can feel good about that, and then we'll pinch hit and go at it again in 5 days.
Lewis is from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Went to Southern University. He was a teammate of Ricky Weeks, second baseman for Milwaukee. Fastball's in tight for ball 1. Dusty Baker has more than 250 wins as the Reds manager, one of only 11 managers in Major League history with 250 for 3 different teams. San Francisco, where he had 840, Chicago 322. Cincinnati now 261 for Dusty, and he is 22nd on the all-time managerial win list. Next up for him, Earl Weaver. Needs about 50 more to overtake him.
Good story about Earl Weaver selling all his memorabilia.
No.
Well, not all of it, but a good portion of it.
What's the reason?
He's 81 years old now, and he doesn't know how to distribute it to his kids and grandkids fairly. So he's just going to sell it and then
give him the money.
Give him the money.
Wow.
He's got his 1966 World Series ring. When he was a minor league manager, he got a World Series. He's keeping his 70 World Series ring, but he's got jerseys that were given to him by
Ripken and others. You know, just a whole bunch of worth thousands of dollars apparently.
Gosh. Wouldn't you think they could get the family together and have a draft or something?
Yeah, well, maybe the family all argues like Earl. You know, maybe he's just afraid he'd cause this big fight.
Could be it.
The only reason you're here is to steal my jersey.
Another broken bat, a liner caught by Hall. And this one turns into an out for Anuri. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded. It is 5-0 Reds. Three-run homer in the third by their pitcher, Travis Wood. A two-run shot by first baseman Ramon Hernandez in the fourth. Now the Astros, who have been blanked on 3 hits through 4 by Wood, come up in the 5th inning with Johnson, Varmus, and the pitcher's spot 2 up. Chris Johnson hit a fly ball to left in the 2nd inning. Nelson Figueroa has been warming up for the Astros in their bullpen, so we expect to see a pinch hitter later on when the pitcher's spot does arrive. Curveball, strike 1 to CJ. Fastball fouled away, makes it no balls, 2 strikes. You mentioned the Reds starting rotation. They really have strong capabilities for putting together nice sustained winning streaks with the talent that they have, including those starters. Some good bullpen arms. And their offense. Strikeout. That's number 5.
Yeah, I talked about Wood at the start of the game, how he's been wildly inconsistent this year. Good start followed by a bad one. So it looks like for the first time this year he's going to put back-to-back starts together, both coming against the Astros. So it's one of those chicken and egg arguments. Has Wood kind of found it, or is he running into the Astros at a time when they're really struggling? And I mean, we just watch his stuff. I think he's really executing a pretty good game plan. His location's been awfully good. And no doubt the Astro hitters have been in a little bit of a funk here for the last week or so.
Ball 1 to Barmas. A fly ball to left first time up. Matt Downs is on deck to pinch hit for the pitcher, Anuri Rodriguez. Foul tip takes it to a 1-ball 1-strike count. Good numbers for Travis Wood with no walks. Last year he walked 26 in 102 innings while going 5-4 with a 3.5 ERA. 2 balls, 1 strike. He made 17 starts for the Reds, 16 more for AAA Louisville, pitched in the postseason. in relief in the division series. In 2009, he had been the Reds' minor league pitcher of the year. Line shot into center field. Barmas is aboard. We're going to Greg Lucas right now.
Well, we have a regional sports note that will involve all of our Aggie fans. Apparently they've lost their basketball coach. Mark Turgeon has accepted the job at Maryland. So the Aggies will have to have a new basketball coach and will have some pretty big shoes to fill.
How about Phil Jackson?
Yeah, he's available.
Big shoes to Phil Jackson. I'm available.
Or they could use all the leftover interviews that the Rockets have been conducting.
Yeah. I had a pretty good run out at the YMCA out there in the Woodlands with my girls.
Woodlands isn't that far from Aggie Land. Yeah, you could take that.
That's pretty good years.
Pinch hitter Matt Downs batting for Nuri Rodriguez, fouls it for strike one. He's hitting .250 with 9 hits and 36 at bats. Matt has a homer, 6 runs batted in. He's 1 for 5 with an RBI as a pinch hitter.
Bring the snacks every game.
That's important.
Yeah. Make that little line so the kids can run under.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have that when I was a kid. We didn't have that parent line to run under. Feel a little bit cheated.
That arrested your childhood development.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike to Downs. Meanwhile, Rodriguez in 5 innings allowed 8 hits, 5 runs. He had 1 walk and he struck out 3.
Wood in complete control of this game, but that could turn in a hurry. And Downs certainly capable of knocking the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah, good pull hitter.
Been awfully good with that changeup, but you know, he could hang one. That'd work.
Matt was 1 for 4 on the road trip. He has made 6 starts. Tough job pinch hitting, but he's had those occasional times when he's had 3-4 at bats in a game as a starter. Line shot left field. Pinch hit Matt Downs. Could be the start of something with Michael Bourne to determine that. He's 1 for 2.
It was a changeup that stayed up a little bit. Didn't hit it out of the ballpark, but hit it hard. You look at the swing in Fox Mo.
Yeah.
Or Fox X-Mo.
2 men on now. And Bourne got behind 0-2, but then he hit a sharp single right by Wood into center field in the 3rd after hitting a fly ball to right his first time up.
Something the Astros have not had a lot of lately. 2 men on base at the same time.
Yeah.
This is where they really get hurt by the fact that they don't have a lot of thunder in their lineup, because this is how you come back in games like this. A couple knocks and somebody yank one into the seats.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Astros have hit 18 home runs this year, only 7 with men on base.
Michael Bourne came into this game hitting .156 against lefty pitching. It's 1-2.
He's got him set up to come hard in with the fastball. With 2 strikes, Michael's got to stay back and protect that breaking ball away.
2-2. You saw Jason Bourgeois there leaning on the rail on the disabled list now, feeling a little bit better today. That strained left oblique. Said that an injury bug has bitten him a couple times before. Michael strikes out. That's number 6 for Wood and a big out for him. Now it's J.R. Tolles. J.R. 0 for 2. On May 9, 1976, Houston catchers had quite a night. They combined to hit for the cycle. Cliff Johnson collected 4 hits, 2 singles, a double, and a homer. He twisted his ankle, and his backup, Skip Jutzy, tripled. And so they hit for the cycle in a 10-5 win over St. Louis.
Skip Jutzy.
Yeah.
Not familiar with Skip.
Yeah, didn't play a whole lot. Toles 0 for 2.
He's probably not familiar with me, so we're even.
But neither one of them probably did what Humberto Quintero did yesterday, scored from second on a bunt.
No, I think Willie Mays Hayes is the only person that's done that.
That was fun to watch.
It's like when that guy pulls up for about the 35-footer and his coach is going, no, 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 and he drains it and you go, nice shot. You know, everybody in the dugout was like, Q, where are you going?
Exactly. Great play.
Yeah, nice. Way to go. Good hustle.
He knew what he wanted to do. He took off on the pitch, scored on that bunt, giving Sanchez an RBI.
You know, there was an old minor league play. When they, you know, in the minor leagues, I don't know what they use anymore, but these are just two umpires. And I remember hearing a story of a play like that with second and third in a bunt, and the guy on second wouldn't even come close to third base.
Yeah.
He would just cut way inside the bag and score because the umpires couldn't watch it all.
No. No. That time called by Hannigan. With a 1-2 count on Toles. Back in the early days, you probably read the stories. He used to cut across the infield all the time. There was only one umpire. He couldn't watch everything.
Yeah, you're never going to mistake baseball with golf. This gentleman's sport. We can get away with it. We're doing it.
Not happening. Yeah, that's right. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes to JR.
Explains a lot of my behavior on the golf course.
Hunter Pence is on deck. 3-run homer here.
Well, this
go down well.
Trying to stay away, which is smart. So that's that pitch away. In this situation, you got a 5-run lead. You pitch away from the worst case scenario. You got a pull hitter. You don't want to make a mistake in the middle of the plate.
Chris Spire, long-time coach.
JR is capable of hooking that ball out away from him too. So you got to, if you're Wood, you got to make sure you get it down.
Line drive caught by Phillips. In the 5th inning, no runs, 2 hits, 2 men stranded, 5-0 Reds.
Fellow treating you like family. The Astros go to the bullpen and bring in Nelson Figueroa. This is his 2nd relief appearance after he began the season as a starter. His first one of any length anyway, was not very memorable. That was his last one. 8th inning. He gave up 4 runs to these Reds and 5 hits, including a homer to Jay Bruce. The earned run average is zipped up a little bit. He pitched much better than that as a starter, but not good enough to hold on to the job. So we'll see what he can do in this effort, which is basically to not allow any more runs to give the Astros some time to come back. Guys, back to you.
That's his role. And he had a start at Cincinnati early in the season on April 6th. And lost that game 12-4. He gave up 10 runs, 6 of them earned in 5 1/3 innings. In the earlier relief appearance, prior to the one you talked about, he worked a hitless inning at Cincinnati May 3rd. Ramon Hernandez, the first man to face him. He hit a 2-run homer in the 4th. And he's 1 for 2. But Nelson has done well in this role in the past. There's strike 1. That's one reason. He can come in and throw strike 1.
Well, and this is what we've talked a lot about, and there's been a lot of focus on the Astros blown saves and blowing leads lately, and certainly that has been a problem. But I think maybe even a bigger problem is they've been in a number of games where they've been down, maybe not 5-0, but 4-1, and if you get that guy that comes in the 6th, 7th inning, they hold the other club down, give you a chance to come back. To me, that's what's been lacking. These 3-1 games have turned into 8-1 games in a hurry.
Little tap left side. CJ barehanding, throwing, and a strong arm got him. Looked like maybe Hernandez would be able to beat it. Here it is.
Nice play on the move by C.J. Hernandez. Not a real speedy guy, but with that slow roller in the infield, you're going to get his best time on the stopwatch. On a ball like that, that's when you want to put that clock on. That's the resume time right there for the base runner. The routine ground ball to short, not so much.
Chris Valaika is 1 for 2. Bangs out a line drive to center field. Valaika now with his 2nd hit of the night, getting that start at third base tonight, making the most of it.
The top of the order hasn't been much of an issue. It's these guys in the back. Valaika, Hannigan, Wood, the pitcher. Hernandez in the 6th hole with the home run.
Now 7, 8, 9 guys are 5 for 7 with a homer, 3 runs batted in, and 3 runs scored. Hannigan has a pair of singles. He scored a run.
My apologies to Skip Jutzy.
What happened?
Well, I hadn't heard it. He was the primary catcher for the Astros in 1973. Caught 90 games.
Okay. How'd he do?
Well, he was a defensive guy, I'm guessing. He made any home runs at 223. And caught a few games in 74 and then a little bit the next couple seasons before finishing his career in Seattle. Seems like I would have had his baseball card.
Maybe you did.
Yeah, but I don't remember him.
Okay. Might be still on your bicycle wheel spokes.
I had a lot of Phil Roofs. George Mitterwalds. A lot of those guys.
Yeah. That's right.
what?
Billy Bruton.
Rich Nye. I kept getting Rich Nye.
Nye. Billy Bruton kept popping up a lot.
Well, Gibson and Seaver, and I kept getting Rich Nye and Bill Hand. Not that they weren't good pitchers, but
no.
When you're a kid, you want the stars.
Al Maxfield. This ball. That's a ball to Hannigan. It's 1-1.
Do you remember your first autograph? Did you get autographs when you were a kid?
It was probably Whitey Herzog when he was an outfielder with Kansas City A's. Didn't get many. He came to the bowling alley in our hometown.
Something about Whitey in a bowling alley just makes sense to me. It seems.
It really
I
does.
can see Whitey holding court there in the back room of the bowling alley.
He played for Charlie Finley's Kansas City A's.
What year would that have been?
Might have been early 60s. And what was your first major league game you attended?
Jerry Park, Montreal, '69. The very first year of existence.
Boots Day?
Boots Day. Mac Jones.
Mac the Knife.
Left field was called Jonesville or Jonestown or something.
Okay.
No, it would have been Jonestown. It was Jonesville. Jonestown, that's a different story.
That's taken.
Well, Mac Jones preceded Jonestown.
Yeah. How quickly we forget. Coco LaBoy?
Coco LaBoy, oh yeah. The third baseman. Number 39.
Gary Sutherland?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to Canada here in another week or so. So you expect to hear that when we get to
no,
Toronto.
No, you get a different deal altogether in Toronto.
It could have been
Ontario,
fun.
you don't get that French-Canadian accent.
So we'll get a third baseman there. Ground ball that trickles into right field. A hit for Hannigan, his third. Now Hunter Pence firing into third, not in time. And Valleca legged it from first to third on the Hannigan hit.
That throw by Hunter closed in a hurry on Valleca. It looked like he would make it to third base, no problem whatsoever, but got off a real nice throw. Not an easy throw to make, too, as he's drifting towards the line when he sets his feet. That's pretty impressive.
Right there on the money.
Man, did you see that throw Chu made for Cleveland the other day?
Yes.
You ever seen that guy throw?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got a cannon. Now here's the bunt, and the runner coming home, but it's foul. Wood could have picked up his fourth run batted in, but the ball went foul. One out in the inning. It's 0-1.
Yeah, this is just a great opportunity for Dusty Baker with Wood up there, a guy that can handle the bat well. It was not a suicide squeeze. If it was, Valleca was late leaving. Looked like it was more of a safety squeeze. Make sure it gets down and then go. Read it down and then go.
CJ playing a little bit in front of the bag at third. Double play death for Barmas and Hall. He misses the bunt try. It's 0-2 on Wood.
With CJ coming in, that allows Valleca to come down the line just as far as CJ, knowing that there's no play to be made on him.
And as you saw, he jammed on the brakes. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Figueroa. 2 outs. Fourth strikeout for Astros pitchers tonight. It'll be Drew Stubbs next. He's 1 for 3. Figueroa, with those 5 starts Greg mentioned, was 0-3 with an 8.28 ERA, so he yielded that spot in the rotation to Anuri Rodriguez. Jordan Lyles had pitched well the previous couple starts, but the numbers from tonight or this afternoon were not that attractive. Not always about numbers, though. There's strike one. Mets and Rockies are scoreless after 3 at Coors Field. Chris Capuano and Yolis Chassin. 1 ball, 1 strike. That Rocky club in a battle now after being swept by the Giants. Colorado's lead has been cut to 1, and Jim Tracy's Rockies have lost 4 in a row. Giants winning 3 straight to pull to within 1. Strike, and it's 1-2 for Nelson Figueroa. The Mets will be here over the weekend. And that will wrap up the season series already between the Astros and Mets. Upstairs.
Looks like the Mets will be without Chris Young again, tearing the shoulder. So looks like he'll be on the shelf. Debating whether he will have surgery or not, but he won't pitch for a while.
And that road trip, Atlanta, St. Louis, Toronto coming up. 2 in Atlanta, 2 in St. Louis, 3 in Toronto. Now he did it right. He stepped toward third. There was a balk call the other night in the Red Sox game on Tim Wakefield on that move because the umpire ruled he did not step toward third when he faked to third. And Terry Francona was thrown out of the game.
Terry probably arguing that's the way everybody does it and never gets called. Now all of a sudden you're going to call it on my guy. It was interesting. We had a conversation with Brad Mills about that the next day, and Millsy said that the managers and the GMs too, I believe, were basically pulled this winter on that move by Joe Torre. And the question was, do you want us to eliminate that? Do you want us to make that a balk? as per the rule book, or do you want to just leave it alone the way it is?
Bill said he wanted to leave it alone.
Yeah, he said leave it in there.
Twins just got a run in the 8th, and they tied Boston 1-1. Boston now batting in the bottom half. Pass to diving Barmas. RBI single into left field, and the Reds lead 6-0 on the hit by the leadoff man Stubbs, his second of the night, and that's his 19th run batted in for the leadoff guy.
Well, got pitchers that can hit like Wood, 8-hole hitters that can hit like Hannigan. There's going to be some opportunities for the leadoff man. And that shot of Billy Hatcher down there, coach of first base. This was watching the replay of the playoff game with the Mets in '86, the heartbreaker. Hatcher hit that big home run.
Renteria lines to Barmas, and it's 1 run, 3 hits, 2 left. Billy Hatcher's back in Houston, where he hit that famous home run. Off the foul screen in left. And he says to young players, don't do what I did going up the first base line. It is 6-0 Reds.
Six 6-0 Reds on top. On Saturday, May 28th, join the Astros for the first Faith and Family Night of 2011. Astros host the Diamondbacks at 6:05. And then after the game, fans can enjoy a free post-game concert with contemporary Christian artist Jeremy Camp. Tickets start at just $7, and you can get them at Astros.com. Brownie, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. Hunter Pence in the box, ready to go. Home 6th inning. Cotton candy's flowing. Hunter hit a triple in the first and hit a fly ball in the third. Travis Wood brings it inside for ball 1. Reds have 11 hits to the Astros 5. No errors in the game. Crack bat. 2 hops. It goes to Valleca. 1 out for Wood. Astros have allowed at least a 3-run inning, if not more, in 4 of their last 5 games. But tonight it's been a double-edged sword. They haven't been able to break through against Wood either. Carlos Lee has whiffed both times.
The earned run average for starting pitchers against the Astros in the last week has to be 1 something.
Yeah.
Low 2s anyway. They've just not been able to get anything going.
All 3 games in Pittsburgh, there were quality starts by the Pirates. And we go back to Bailey and Wood.
The last guy they got was Leak.
5 straight quality starts against them. 2-0. Two balls, 1 strike on the curve from Wood. Pirates got 3 in the last of the 8th. They take a 4-1 lead over the Dodgers to the 9th with Joel Hanrahan on the mound. Think they'll be celebrating in Pittsburgh if they go over 500.
Clint Hurdle won't be.
No.
It's that's been one of his talking points this year. I'm not going to be happy with 500. We want more. Secretly, he'll be thrilled if they play 500.
High to left field. Fred Lewis back. Warning track shot. 2 outs.
Maybe he got that.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Underneath it a wee bit.
2 down, and it's Bill Hall. He doubled to left center in the 2nd, then struck out.
Let's see if it doesn't quite get the head out. He didn't catch it quite out in front. Underneath it just a little bit.
Hall settles in. He's a .294 career hitter against Cincinnati with 18 bombs. Taking strike 1. Ryan Doman has 3 hits and an RBI tonight for the Buccos. He's doing the catching again.
Game-winning home run yesterday earned him another start.
1-1 to Hall.
Jimmy Williams used to always say that when he was managing here. I don't write out the lineup, the players do.
Yeah.
Those that are playing well will be in the lineup.
Popped up on the right side. Phillips. It's a 1-2-3 6th. And after 6, it's 6-0 Cincinnati.
Steel. For dependable trimmers and lightweight blowers, visit steeldealers.com. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Reward. The game moves to the 7th inning, and it's Bruce, the heart of the order for the Reds. Figueroa still on the hill. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays in the booth.
Thank you, Greg. Bruce is 0 for 3. And the Reds have banged out 11 hits, but he has not been a part of that. Renteria also 0 for 3. Everybody else has at least 1 hit. And there's strike 1 to Jay. It's been a night for multiple hits for Hannigan with 3, Valleca with 2, Stubbs with 2.
Yeah, so Dusty Baker gives, his MVP, Joey Votto, the night off. 6-run lead. His club has banged out 11 hits. And he'll have a refreshed Joey Votto for tomorrow.
2 balls and a strike. Jay Bruce, the son of a plumber, and Beaumont, his mother, a special education aide. First round pick, 3 balls and a strike. Did not have his own car in high school. Drove his dad's brown rusty truck. They called it Old Brown. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Diane calls you.
Yeah, you're right. There's a look at how this game has gone for the Reds. Stubbs has driven in a run. He's got 2 hits on down the line. And a walk to Bruce.
Old Brown.
Reds lead it, and here's how they got there. Travis Wood, a 3-run homer, and the pitcher took the tour. And then, of course, they got another homer from Hernandez, a 2-run shot to make it 5-0. Put together a lot of singles along the way, too, including the RBI single by Stubbs. And it's 6-0. They have a total of 11 hits in the game. 3 of those singles have come from Ryan Hannigan. Brandon Phillips has 1 of those hits. He's 1 for 3. And Jay Bruce is driven back by that throw. Detroit is pounding out a big win at Toronto. It's 10-2 Tigers, bottom of the 8th inning. Victor Martinez hit his 3rd homer. What do they call it? Rogers Center now, right?
Rogers Center.
Not Skydome.
Hey, that's right. It'll be our first ever trip up there. The Astros' first ever trip to Toronto.
How about you? Have you been to Toronto?
Yeah, I was there with the Twins in the Skydome.
What were your impressions of it?
Boy, they had a good lineup. Molitor, Olerud.
Oh, yeah.
Alomar, Henderson.
That was a good lineup.
Oh, man. Joe Carter.
Ooh.
Well, they were winning World Series back in the day. But anyway, Rogers Center, I don't remember all that much about the ballpark. The hotel in the outfield was kind of unique.
People who didn't pull their drapes and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Pitch is ball 3. It's 3-0.
We'll have to ask Joey Votto where we should go to eat in Toronto.
He should know all about that. The historic first ever Astros trip. That's the only city they have not visited in the major leagues. I wonder why it took this long. That's ball 4. Back-to-back walks here now. Have Lewis coming out.
Generally, the Canadian people are very generous and hospitable. You think they would have invited us up there by now.
Tolles out, Hall coming in. A little stalling game to give the bullpen time, perhaps, after the back-to-back walks. Lewis is 1 for 3. That's strike 1 from Figueroa. Interleague play does bring some different things to your plate as a baseball fan, though. Chance to see those different players. We usually don't see much of the Blue Jays. They're not on TV a whole lot.
Well, wouldn't it be fun if Kyle Drabeck pitched against the Astros in one of those games?
It really would. No balls, 2 strikes.
Brooke Jacoby's the hitting coach of the Reds. He and Dusty Baker have to be impressed with these 2 walks because 6-0 lead. A lot of times hitters will just go up there wailing away, feeling like we got a comfortable lead. I'm just going to go for myself, and you like to see that good, solid approach, regardless of the score.
Dusty, quite a hitter himself.
Yeah, does he have more hits or more managerial wins in his career?
Ooh, that's a good question. Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Figueroa. That's number 2 for Figgy. That is worth researching on a night like this.
Let me see here. I pull up right here. BaseballReference.com, folks, is a great website if you're interested. More hits so far. 1,981 hits. And 1,400 some odd wins. So he's got some managing to do yet.
You bet. Hernandez ripped the 2-run homer. He's 1 for 3. And there's ball 1. It's a great book. Game 6 is the title of the book about the 1975 World Series Game 6 between the Reds and the Red Sox. Written by Mark Frost. He did an excellent job of researching that, writing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Part of the terrific history of this Cincinnati franchise, and they're trying to get back to that point now. Of course, they did in 1990, but they had had a long drought between playoff appearances from 95 to last year. Jose Valdez is warming up now for Houston. That's a liner to Wallace. He throws back to second, not in time for the double play. 2 outs. But really makes some interesting points. One thing I'd forgotten was in Game 6, Gary Nolan was the starting pitcher, but Jack Billingham had been removed from the rotation, and he was really ticked.
Jack was?
Yes, he was.
So what was you had a great Gary Nolan story the other day. He used to sing on the bus.
He used to sing Afternoon Delight on the team bus if he was pitching.
On his day to pitch. On the way to the ballpark.
On his way to the ballpark, he always sang Afternoon Delight, and we were all just roaring, just doubled over in laughter.
I think that was the Starland Vocal Band.
You got it.
Mistaken.
You got it. You got it. Might as well break it out right here, right now. It might work on a night like this.
That's one of those songs that gets stuck in your head and won't go away.
No, it just really won't. Can't wash it out of your brain. No balls, 2 strikes.
See, now if a guy were to do that, well, first of all, you're not going to find. Rarely do you find a player. The players will go so far now to not ride the team bus. There's a stigma attached to it. They'll walk by the bus as it's getting ready to pull out and get into a cab and basically follow the bus to the ballpark.
They will. You're right. We've seen it happen. Swing and a miss. Figgy, after back-to-back walks, gets the next 3. That's his 3rd strikeout. In the bottom of the 7th coming up, the Astros will try to climb this hill. 6-0 Cincinnati. Hoping this 7th inning stretch will cause a turnabout in this game. As They enjoy deep in the heart of Texas. Wallace, Johnson, and Varmus due up in the Astros' 7th inning.
Wallace Johnson, he's a pretty good hitter for the Expos.
He was
back in
good.
the day.
The Starlight Vocal Band, we're talking about them. That group began as Fat City.
Huh.
JD, a husband-wife duo of Bill Danoff and Kathy Nifford.
Wow. We're going deep inside the music here on VH1.
Deep inside the Starlight Vocal Band, yep. They also co-wrote the hit song Take Me Home Country Roads with John Denver.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's all we need to know about the Starlight Vocal Band.
Now there's 2 songs stuck in my head competing for what little brain space I have left.
That's tough when you've got 2 of them rattling around in there.
That and Skip Jutsey's career numbers. I'm just a garbled mess.
Red Wallace is 0 for 2. 5 hits for the Astros off Travis Wood, who delivers ball 1. And Travis Wood now is making this his 3rd straight good game pitched against the Astros. First one wasn't awful. He gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. He's gone at least 6 in all previous 3. Wallace fouls it.
Welcome Steve Connors to the Astros family. He's a new Astros fan. I just got a text from our buddy Matt Cuties back in Virginia.
Okay.
And wanted us to give a shout out to Stephen Connors, who's now, Matt has successfully recruited him. And he's a big Astros fan now.
Good. How did the negotiations go?
Matt is pretty convincing.
Oh, yeah. Now, Matt just made a trip, right? He made a baseball trip.
He was up in Baltimore, I think. Yeah. No, in Philly. He saw the Washington. He saw the Mets in D.C.
That's right. 1 and 2 for Travis Wood. Bearing down for win number 2 of the year. And there's a little more room in right center for Brett Wallace than left center, with Stubbs shading him toward left center.
This is, for me, this was the ideal situation as a starting pitcher, because you're pitching a good game. You've had pretty quick innings. Your team has scored for you, but they haven't had a lot of real long innings. Just missed it. So you're able to maintain your rhythm, and you've got plenty of room to make a mistake or 2. So if you make a mistake out over the plate and someone jerks one into the seats, you hate to give up the shutout, but it's not going to kill you.
Homer Bailey goes tomorrow night. Homer Wood on the mound tonight. He hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. Travis Wood. 92 pitches. Bouncer goes foul. That was the first home run by a Reds pitcher this year. And they had 1 RBI for their pitching staff coming into this game tonight, that by Bronson Arroyo. So it's a big night all the way around for Travis Wood. 20,174 the paid attendance.
Hit shutout baseball, hit a 3-run jack. That's a pretty good day.
You know it. There's a walk to Wallace. Number 1 of the night for Wood, and he'll face Johnson next. Chris with a fly ball to left and a strikeout. 94 pitches for Wood. Twins and Red Sox are going to extra innings, tied 1-1 in Boston. That's strike 1 to CJ. Chris with 3 career homers against the Reds and a .273 batting average coming into this game tonight. Yeah, Jack Dillingham very upset that he did not get that start in Game 6 of the World Series. 0-2, and according to the book Game 6 by Mark Frost, Sparky Anderson called him in, explained that, well, Gary Nolan, because of his shoulder problems, can't help us in relief. He can't get loose that quickly. You can. So we're going with Gary, and Jack said that is unacceptable to me. Doesn't sound like Jack, does it?
I know.
But it's World Series.
Yeah.
A chance to start, not starting.
Yeah, that's not news you take lightly.
Not at all.
I mean, Jack, an easygoing guy, but the competitor in you comes out.
Lefty Bill Bray, righty Logan Ondrusek are warming up for the Reds. Liner caught by a diving Phillips, who lands hard behind second base.
And he's one of the best second basemen in the business, both in terms of his offensive production and the defensive work. A Gold Glover. This ball not really stung, but a pretty play nonetheless. He got jammed by that one. Phillips lays out, tucks it away.
Quite an effort. He landed hard. That's out number one. Now Clint Barmas. He's 1 for 2. That one bounces, and Hannigan blocked it out in front as Angel Sanchez comes out to the on-deck circle with a pitcher due up next. So Hannigan, a good receiver, kept that one close out in front of the plate. Wallace holding on at first, and it's a 1-0 pitch coming next to Barmas. Milwaukee and Zach Greinke are leading after 7 over San Diego, 4-2.
Yeah, that's why I still really like that Milwaukee club. I just envision a scenario where Greinke and Gallardo and Markham and the rest of that group gets on a real nice roll, and the way they swing the bats, they don't have to pitch all that well. I mean, they're in a funk now. They're not hitting a lick here lately, but that group will hit, I got to believe.
Oh, yeah. 3-0. They got Niger Morgan back, and then he immediately got hurt and went back on the disabled list. Gray, the lefty, on Drusick, the right-hander. Warming up. 100 pitch mark for Wood.
Drusick, he pitches pretty much every day.
He really does. He has 19 appearances. He's tied with 2 Astros for the league lead in appearances. 101 now for Wood. 22 of those coming in the 5th inning when the Astros got back-to-back singles. Barmas takes a strike, and it's a full count now. Fly ball goes out to center field. Drew Stubbs waiting. 2 outs. And now it's the pinch hitter, Angel Sanchez. Batting for Figueroa, who in 2 innings allowed 3 hits, 1 run. Walking 2, fanning 3. One homer, 16 runs batted in, a .278 batting average for Angel. He's had 115 at bats as a pinch hitter. 1 for 1 with 1 RBI, and that came yesterday on a bunt hit with Quintero, who took off on the pitch, scoring from second. Strike. The pinch hit earlier by Matt Downs was the 11th for the Astros this season.
Mariners have designated Milton Bradley for assignment. Well, off troubled of Milton Bradley.
Yeah, he's had a couple of blow-ups in the last week again.
Designated for assignment, that means they have 10 days to trade, release, or send him to the minors. He was making $13 million.
Wow. Little looper out into right field. Another pinch hit for Sanchez. He's 2 for 2 in the last 2 days off the bench.
Thing of beauty right there.
Michael Bourne comes up.
A little opposite field gap wedge for Angel.
Dusty Baker may want the lefty. Bill Bray.
It's not like the Astros are getting great swings at Wood here in this inning, but Dusty feels like it's time to make the move.
From one lefty to another. And that's the move he makes here in the 7th inning with a score. Cincinnati 6, Houston nothing. Back in a moment.
So far tonight, but we got one happy family out here. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Shane Waters.
And Shane, the fourth inning home run ball by Ramon Hernandez is hit out here right in front of our set. And of course, there's always pressure from the hometown crowd to throw the ball back, but you didn't because
it was my son's first major league ball game. I was going to throw it back. If it was myself, I would have thrown it away. But he loves his ball.
I don't know if you folks can see that. He is really happy to have a souvenir. In his first major league game, he's going to walk out of here with a souvenir. But I've got boys, too, and I know you can't come home with just one item. So these two down here are going to share what's in the Progressive Fan of the Game bag. All right? Congratulations. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Bart.
Good move, Dad. Don't throw it back. Give it to the little guy.
Michael Bourne versus Bill Bray with 2 men on and a 6-0 lead. Bourne is 1 for 3. He singled in the third off Wood. Bray has done well with that low ERA, JD.
Yeah, boy, he's been tough. Look at that. Just about a strikeout an inning. Very hard to hit. Got that funky delivery. Real challenge for a left-handed hitter.
Ball's behind, 1 ball, no strikes. He is second on the club in appearances. This is number 18 for Bray. It's 2-0. Bray has pitched 3 times this year against the Astros. Has not allowed a hit in 2 1/3 innings.
Saw that 059 batting average against Bray by left-handed hitters. That's 1 hit in 17 at bats. Struck out 7 of those 17. Walked 2.
He came in Cincinnati on Thursday and got Brett Wallace with a couple of men on base. 2 balls and a strike.
Big high leg kick. Then he breaks that backside down. Hides the ball well. Throws that glove out in front.
Line shot into center field. Stop sign at third. The bases are loaded on the hit by Bourne. Wallace at third. Sanchez to second, and Bourne is 2 for 4. Nice hit against the lefty.
Yeah, boy, 2 out of 4 tonight off a couple of tough left-handers. Good solid approach. Both base hits coming right back through the middle of the diamond.
Right under his glove. With that, Dusty Baker, who wanted that lefty-on-lefty matchup, will make another move. And it's going to be a double switch. Chris Heisey's coming off the bench, headed out for left field. He'll bring in a pitcher at the same time.
That's why I was kind of surprised he didn't let Wood face Michael, and then if he got the hit off Wood, then he could have brought the right-hander in to face JR. But he had Bray hot.
6-0 ball game, but it's gotten a lot more interesting. Back in a moment.
Behind the scenes, get analysis and features on all your favorite Astros Get inside the clubhouse with Astros Insider Thursday at 6:30 p.m. only on Fox Sports Houston. Well, our new pitcher is Logan Andrusek. He's pitched, it seems like, in every game the Astros and Reds have played, but he's only one of several members of the Reds from this region of the country, and mostly from Texas itself. Look at these. Homer Bailey, Jay Bruce, Paul Yanni, Sam LeCure, Logan Andrusek, Drew Stubbs, and Bill Bray. No team in all of baseball has more people from Texas than the Reds.
No wonder they're so good.
They know where to get players.
Now it's J.R. Tolles with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 6-0 is the lead for the Reds. Goes 0 for 3. Strike for Andrusek.
Little cut fastball there at 92 miles an hour. He's got good stuff on Andrusek. Big, tall guy. Comes at you over the top with a good downhill angle as it gets into the hitting zone. Let's see, he was allowed 1 home run so far this year.
Out of play. 0-2 for Tolles. Andrusek has appeared a lot against the Astros, almost every game. This is 5 out of 7 appearances for him in the games against these two. Gave up 2 runs in that last game 4 days ago because those runners left on base later scored. Ground ball to short. Renteria ends it in the 7th with no runs, 2 hits, 3 men stranded, 6-0 Reds. Favorite devices. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Nelson Figueroa in 2 innings allowed 3 hits, 1 run. He walked 2, fanned 3. Now Jose Valdez comes in. He is pitcher number 3 of the night. He'll get the 8th inning.
Jose Valdez working for the 7th time. You see that inflated ERA. He struggled the other day in Pittsburgh. You know, when he first came up, he was most impressive, and at times has looked very good. Other times he has really struggled, and this is his first shot at pitching in the big league, so a little bit understandable. Certainly has good enough stuff to be a successful major league pitcher. Just needs to figure out how to use it.
He was falling behind hitters that last time out when he gave up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. He gave up a hit and walked 2. Was not involved in that decision, but last home appearance was good for him with 2 shutout innings. And then right after that, Carlos Lee got hurt, and they didn't know if he would be disabled or not. He wound up going down and then coming right back up about a week later. Now it's Hannigan, who's 3 for 3. Reds have out hit the Astros 11-7, no errors in the game. Cincinnati has stranded 7 with Houston leaving 8. The Astros had that bases loaded opportunity, but then the ground ball by Tolles got the Reds out of the inning. Ground ball to short. 1 pitch, 1 out. And we get strike 1, gets an out right away on Hannigan.
Good low fastball over the plate, but down. That's the kind of pitch you make when you're trying to get quick outs. You know, you give the guy something he can swing at, just in a spot where it's tough to do a whole lot with. You're willing to take a shot over the plate, but try to keep it down around the knees. Get a quick out.
Chris Heisey, who entered the game in the double switch, checks in at 245 with 2 homers. He's driven in 13. Ball 1 from Valdez.
Long arms and big old hands. I mean, he looks like he would have been a good rebounder had he played basketball.
That's for sure. Lakers could have used him.
Sharp elbows, too.
We saw some of that last night. 1 ball, 1 strike. Twins and Red Sox are in the bottom of the 10th, tied 1-1. That's a foul ball. Got that pitch up a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Valdez, pitcher number 3 of the night for Brad Mills. And Nuri Rodriguez started, second major league start, giving up 8 hits, 5 runs in 5 innings. Nelson Figueroa allowed 1 run in 2.
There you go.
Ooh, yeah. Strikeout for out number 2.
Previous splitter kind of hung there. That time he finished the pitch, and boy, that's the difference. When he finishes that split finger pitch and really gets through it, it does this for him.
Hard to catch. Chris Welsh is impressed by that pitch.
We bring Welsh out of his seat over there?
Yeah, he came out of his seat on that one. Drew Stubbs is 2 for 4 with an RBI. That's strike 1. Always interesting to see reactions from people who have not seen a pitcher before.
Yeah, he's over there. Yeah, it's like a fork ball. It is a fork ball.
Now he's into his clinic. He's got the grip and everything.
He's looking around. Somebody throw me a baseball.
Yeah, some guys are like, they stand up when they're just so nervous energy, you know. They've got to stand up when they work. Chuck Poole, on the other hand, is more laid back. We're talking with Chuck about Anthony Rendon of Rice, who could be the first player drafted next month.
Yeah, there was an article in the Pittsburgh paper. The Pirates picked first in the June draft. It's on everybody's radar. Most of the scouting services, the guys that really follow it, the amateur stuff, they rank him at 1 or 2.
Very exciting time for a local kid. It's 2-2. Anthony's had a little shoulder issue, so he's been DHing rather than playing third base. Detroit pounded Toronto 10-5 at Rogers Center. Max Scherzer going to 6-0 with the win. Joining the select company of 6-game winners in the big leagues. Popped up foul and out of play.
Well, the bottom line in this game, if you're a pitcher, is just get outs and prevent runs. And Valdez on his way to doing that here with 2 outs, 2-2 count. Hopefully he can finish off this hitter. And one thing I think would help him is maybe if he could pick up his pace a little bit. It takes a lot of time between pitches. I think it gets to the point where you become a little too deliberate, too thoughtful out there. And sometimes you need to be just be an athlete. Just go get them.
Holloway. Jared Weaver of the Angels was the first 6-game winner in the big leagues.
He had 6 wins and an ERA below 1 in the month of April.
Yeah. Now Scherzer 6-0, and he beat Brandon Morrow tonight.
Guess those guys shouldn't plan on playing any golf over the All-Star break. They'll probably be busy with starts like that.
Sure seems that way. Oh, beautiful pitch. And a strikeout. Number 2 of the inning. Gets him through the 8th inning and keeps the score at 6-0 Cincinnati. Reyes. Gabby Sanchez 14 for 33 this month. Freddie Freeman has hit 4 bombs. Kinsler, though, is stone cold. JD.
Yeah, Kinsler just 1 out of 19. And as we mentioned earlier, Milton Bradley designated for assignment. Suspended last week and then ejected from another game. He was only hitting in the low 200s. Seattle has decided to move on.
Hunter Pence is 1 for 3. And hits a fly ball off Logan Ondrusek deep to right field. Bruce is leaping at the wall, and that one got in. Off the glove, it appeared of Bruce. And Hunter wasn't sure. He thought maybe the ball was caught.
Yeah, he's still not sure what's going on.
Home run, Hunter Pence. Number 5. Well, he has a triple and a homer tonight, going 2 for 4.
Yeah, he is so strong, and you'll see Bruce go up and give it a valiant effort just off the side of his glove. Looks like he had it measured just a little bit short. Now, home run for Hunter.
Now foul ball back.
And that, to hit the ball that high the opposite way and get it out of the ballpark, that speaks to how strong Hunter is.
That's his 12th career long ball against Cincinnati. Breaks up the shutout bid, makes it 6-1. Bruce almost brought it back. Carlos Lee's 0 for 3. Valleca clanks it, and Lee will be safe. Tried to pick it on the short hop as he was moving toward right field, and he did not get it cleanly.
Bounding balls like that oftentimes present a difficult hop for a fielder. That'll be an E5. They'll play. It should have been made. Again, not an easy play, but big league third baseman would be expected to make that play.
First error on Valleca. Now Bill Hall. Logan Ondrusek has been on quite a roll lately. Mike Leake is warming up in the bullpen for Cincinnati.
Wow, they give him a base hit on that.
Ooh. Okay.
That's charitable.
Yeah. Ball 1 to Hall. So Carlos now is 4 hits away from 2,000. That's hit number 9 for the Astros.
Carlos would tell you, with my speed, that's got to be a hit. They're not going to throw me out.
Andrusek misses, and it's 2-0 as we see the opposite field homer.
Load and go. Front foot down, hands come through, and again, he'll tell you, I didn't get all that one. But when you're that strong, you don't have to get it all to get it out.
28 runs batted in for Hunter. Whoa! Oh, it hits Hall in the back.
That one's coming. When it's coming at your back like that, there is no chance to get out of the way.
Assistant athletic trainer Rex Jones out to look at Bill Hall. Here it is.
The only way you're going to get out of the way of that one is to go forward, and every instinct tells you to back up.
First hit batsman by Andrusek. In 19 1/3 innings this year, and Hall will take that slow walk now. That's the second time Bill Hall's been hit by a pitch this year. Home run, infield hit batsman. Andrusek was visited by the pitching coach, Brian Price. He stays in to face Fred Wallace, apparently.
Action in the Reds bullpen, but just a couple of right-handers. Aroldis Chapman, the hard-throwing lefty, is not warming up in the pen.
Chapman has walked 13 in 12 2/3 innings.
He did not look sharp when we saw him in Cincinnati.
Now Nick Massett has joined Mike Leake. Fred Wallace is 0 for 2 with a walk. Chris Johnson on deck. Bouncer, and Renteria gets in front of it, goes to second. And the turn by Phillips. Out at first. On a one-hop throw, Ramon Hernandez dug it out for the 30th Reds double play of the year.
Tell you what, Brandon Phillips can turn some double plays for you.
He can.
Not shy away at all. You see, Hall's got a nice secondary lead, gets a good jump on this ground ball toward the hole, and he's pretty much on top of Phillips as he receives that throw, but Brandon able to make the pivot and complete the double play. Good hard slide by Hall, but no contact, and a great turn by Phillips.
A nice scoop by Hernandez. Johnson bats. Bouncer, Renteria. Flags it down. Spins and gets him. The home run by Pence breaks up the shutout bid, and it's 6-1 Reds. drive behind second base. Terrific play by Phillips. The ball hit by Chris Johnson.
Put a little highlight reel together. Plays against the Astros. The double plays. He's turned, diving catches. The between the legs flip. Over in Cincinnati last week. If you're going to start an off-season basketball team, I think he'd be your point guard.
He would be the guy. Ninth inning, Renteria. 0 for 3 with a walk. Valdez in for his second inning. He had a very good 1-2-3-8 with 2 Ks. And there's ball 1. Bruce and Phillips to follow Renteria. Reds have 6 runs on 11 hits. The Astros 1 run, 9 hits. No errors in the game. Milwaukee did beat San Diego 4-3 at Milwaukee. Good sinking action there for Valdez. It's 1-1. Zach Greinke got his first win as a Brewer. Beating Matt Latos. Latos now 0-5. John Exford got his 6th save. Ricky Weeks hit his 7th home run. It's 2-1. Yeah, the Reds can make the plays. They made 15 errors this year, fairly low total. 5 of those have come from Renteria. So they can excel in all phases of the game. A tough team to beat.
Yeah, when they have their everyday lineup out there, and Roland's out there, Roland at third, Giannis at short, Phillips at second, Votto at first. That's outstanding defensive infield. There's speed in the outfield, good arms. Bruce and Stubbs both have cannons, or at least very strong arms.
Strike, and it's 3-2 to Renteria. They have a good blend. They have some young players at AAA who can help if they need. They have help from AAA and a very, very deep major league club. Roland there with the left shoulder, which is that's an injury that goes back about 5 or 6 years for Scott, and he's been on the disabled list several times with it. He'll need a little more time apparently to strengthen. Bouncer slowly hit. Charge. Bill Hall. Whoops. Didn't get out of his glove quickly enough. Yeah, he did. Okay, we didn't see anything from Tim McClellan, but it's out number 1. Like
sure, yeah, Tim waited, and then he said, I think, once Renteria took the turn that Renteria knew he was out, so Tim said, yeah, I'll go with that. Hall's got a good, strong arm, but Tim, he might have been saying something. A lot of times that's what he'll do. So on strike calls, he does it all the time.
Okay.
You don't see the arm, but he says something. So he may have verbally set out, and Renteria's checking with him. How hard do I need to run here?
He looked like the statue of Tim McClellan. Jay Bruce is 0 for 3 with a walk. Yeah, that's great for the players' benefit, but for the fans, it's a little helpful if they signify something with a hand, safer out. But good umpire. He's been around a long time, and he knows what he's doing.
Well, that's one of the things they teach in umpire school. Take an extra beat before you signal.
Yes, it is.
Take your time.
It's nothing until you call it.
What was the famous story? The old-time umpire out at second base signaled out but said safe. The guy laying there on the ground at second base said, what is it? And he goes, well, you and I know you're safe, but there's 30,000 people in the stands that think you're out. You're gone.
Oh, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillies 6, Florida 4. That's a final from Florida. Joe Blanton returned to the rotation, got a win tonight, beating Javier Vasquez. Ryan Madsen got his 4th save. Jimmy Rollins hit a homer, number 2, and Gabby Sanchez hit number 6 for the Fish.
Yeah, stay hot, Gabby.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That Florida team bears watching, though.
I like that club, Brownie.
Yeah, pretty solid. Florida began the night 2 behind Philadelphia, so slides to 3 games back now. So Blanton gave up 3 runs in 5 innings tonight, and Vance Worley picked him up with 3 innings of 1-run relief. Nice to have a whirly. Now a home plate umpire, Ryan Runge, takes off the mask. Apparently he's been hearing things he doesn't like from the Houston bench. By the way, they widened those steps last homestand near where Brad Mills is right now.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
I think to avoid injury, maybe. Bouncer goes foul. Those steps are wider now than they were a couple of weeks ago when we were home. See now? You can go down there two abreast now if you want to. Don't know why you'd want to.
Well, they've had a couple weddings here. Maybe that's what it's all about.
That could be it. Yeah, they had a big charity event while we were gone. Raised a lot of money here. Concert. One ball goes foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Aren't they happy they stayed? Not sure what the bat is all about, but now she's got a ball as well.
Got a lot of the foam finger, the little miniature bat, souvenir ball.
Very well equipped. Well, bats for autographs. Valdez missing inside. Goes to a full count on Bruce. Now Bruce is near his hometown of Beaumont. He doesn't have a hit tonight. His teammates have 11.
That's why he was pulling so far off that last ball he hit foul. He was trying to hit one 450 feet.
Almost caught Pence's home run ball. That broke up the shutout bid. Broken bat. Good play. No. It gets away from Wallace and now safe at first. Looked like Wallace had it, but it rolled off to his right, and the barrel of the bat wasn't very far from him.
Second time we've seen a bat head fly out there to second base tonight.
It's an error on Wallace, his second.
If the flying bat head distracted him at all, or just some funky spin, but a lot going on with that play.
Yeah. It's a major distraction when there's a flying projectile about 2 feet away.
And see Valdez is slamming on the brakes because he sees the bat head. Maple bats. Got to fix that.
Johnny Gomes is on deck with Phillips batting. Phillips is 1 for 3 with a walk. And there's ball 1 from Valdez. Well, Mark Melanson and Jeff Fulcino each has pitched in 19 games. So far they have had a rest tonight. That could be helpful come tomorrow night. And Fernando Abad also has made 19 appearances. So the other guys in the pen are picking up some innings. It's 2-0 now. Oakland won at Texas 7-2. Trevor Cahill is a 6-game winner now too. He's 6-0 with a 1.72 ERA. He beat C.J. Wilson, who's 4-2.
I don't think I can name 5 Oakland A's.
Well, you wouldn't be alone in that. They're kind of an anonymous group, aren't they? But they have the best pitching around.
They do. Gonzalez and Cahill and
Dallas Braden.
Yeah, Braden threw the no-no last year.
Yeah, he's hurt right now, though. Let's see. Oakland moves ahead of Texas now in second place.
That's going to be my homework assignment. Learn more about the Oakland A's.
There's a smash into left field. Phillips with a sharp single out to Carlos Lee. His second hit of the night gets Bruce to second base. And now we get a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Johnny Gomes. Big night for the Reds hitters. And Gomes, who's played a lot of left field, now comes up pinch hitting. Batting average isn't much, but he's taken a lot of walks this season. He bats for Logan Ondrusek, who in 1 1/3 innings allowed 1 hit, 1 run. Now make it 2 hits and 1 run. No walks, no strikeouts, a hit batsman. And now we see Gomes. Had a good year last year. Runners at first and second for him as he comes up at 184 for 98 at bats, but he's walked 22 times. It's upstairs, ball one. A pleasant situation for Dusty Baker. Having all these guys pressing for playing time. A lot of talent on his club, and he's doing something of a juggling act, moving players in and out of that lineup. Gomes drove in 86 last year. It's 1-1. Now Gomes, with all these walks, 22 walks, really going against the grain. Last year, he did not walk until May 28th, the 49th game of the season.
Yeah, and that is really peculiar for a player at his stage of his career to change that much.
Mm-hmm. One and two. Now 30 years old.
Yeah, normally, once you've been in the big leagues for a couple of years, you are what you are. You hear it all the time about players. I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to work the count, draw more walks, and there might be a little change from one year to the next, but typically not a whole lot.
One hopper, Johnson to second, Hall to first, no double play. Out number 2 was turned in from 5-4 on Phillips. Bruce to third base.
2 long throws around the diamond, so sometimes difficult to complete that 5-4-3 double play, and the throw to second was not an easy one for Hall to handle. A little bit of a sinker behind him. He had to reach back for it and turn to make the throw.
Ramon Hernandez hit a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 4. 6 runs on a dozen hits for the Reds. The Astros have Barmas, the pitcher spot, and then Bourne due up in the last of the 9th inning. The Pirates beat the Dodgers 4-1 to go 1 game over 500. Joel Hanrahan got save number 11. Foul ball, strike one. He's perfect in saves this year, and Jose Veras was the winner in relief with Chad Billingsley losing it for the Dodgers. Their attendance in Pittsburgh tonight, 11,373. But if the Pirates continue to do what they've been doing, that'll pick up. They'll do a much better job of supporting that team once school is out if they continue to be above 500. They've been waiting a long time for that. No winning seasons for the Pirates since the George H.W. Bush administration.
1992. The Drabek, Bonilla, Bonds, Van Slyke era. Came close in 97.
Yeah, they did. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout. Number 3 ends it for Valdez. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. Go to the bottom of the 9th inning, 6-1 Cincinnati.
by the Progressive Insurance Group. For the money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Well, Mike Leake is on to pitch the ninth against the Astros. Astros saw him as a starter earlier this year. And he'll start with Barmas and a pinch hitter and hopefully a very, very big inning. To tell us about it, here's Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies again.
Thank you, Greg. Mike Leake is 3-1. His ERA is 5.77. He's pitched twice against the Astros. Had a win and a loss in those two starts at Cincinnati. Both times he faced Jay Happ in those games. Now he comes in with Clint Barmas to lead it off.
We saw him very good in his first start of the year. 6 innings of 2-run baseball, and then really struggled in that start. Brownie mentioned last week in Cincinnati, allowed 7 earnings in 3 2/3. He's not pitched since then. This is his first workout of the bullpen since being moved to the pen as Bailey and Cueto rejoin the rotation.
Liner goes foul. It's 1-1 to Barmas. Well, Leake last year, of course, with no professional experience, made 22 appearances as a starter. And then 2 as a reliever. The last 2 appearances of the year for him were in relief. Now it's 3 balls and a strike. So now adjusting to this long relief role, if you will, at age 23. May not be long tonight, but sometimes he'll be considered the long reliever.
And it's just an opportunity in a relatively lopsided game to get him some work, and it remains to be seen exactly how Dusty will use him. You know, talented young guy, and that's going to be the challenge. I mean, if you're just going to use him in a mop-up role here, he might be better off down in AAA working as a starter.
Might be. Valleca fields the one hopper, gets Barmas 1 out.
But they may just want to see him pitch out of the pen for a while and get a sense of what they have. Because for the Reds, right now it's all about winning. And if they feel like they can help him at this level, regardless of what the role is, they'll probably keep him here. Last year, boy, he came on like gangbusters at the start of the season last year. He was quite a story in April and May. 6-1 before the All-Star break. Grabbing a lot of headlines. Fatigued and struggled in the second half.
Brian Bogusevic is the pinch hitter for Valdez, taking ball 1. Brian is 3 for 8. All those at bats have come in pinch hitting roles. Fouls that one away, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Brian's come through with hits in his last 2 pinch hit at bats. Jose Valdez in 2 innings allowed 1 hit, no runs. He did not walk anybody. He struck out 3. 2-1 for Bogusevic. Bouncer out to Brandon Phillips. 2 outs now. And it's Michael Bourne, who's 2 for 4. Bourne singled up the middle in the 3rd and 7th inning. Both against left-handed pitchers, Wood and Bray. So he's had good results against the lefties who have been giving him trouble this year. And takes strike 1. Colorado 2, the Mets 1. They've played 7 at Coors Field. Chris Iannetta hit his 5th home run for the Rockies. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. The Reds are trying to go 5-2 against the Astros in the season series. J.R. Tolles is on deck. A little waiting game here between Leake and Bourne. White Sox 3, Angels nothing after 4. That one's in the dirt, and that's the end of the ball game. Strikeout to end it for Leake. A combined 9-hitter for Wood, Bray, Andrusek, and Leake, and Dusty Baker's club wins it. Go 5-2 against the Astros, 6-1.